What's going on, guys? It's your boy Johnny Go Vroom. Out here having a good time doing a little trail ride. This has been a couple of weeks back on a Sunday, a couple Sundays ago. Out here on the Master version 4. Fantastic wheel. Absolutely beautifully paired with the C38 motor and the 36 MOSFETs on the motherboard. Very, very, very powerful wheel. Nice package, rather light. Love this wheel. So when it comes to group rides, guys, there's just a lot of things that you got to try to put together, man. And I tried to come up with a list of things that I feel like really help make the ride better. That's Tyler, by the way. That kid there, he's Tyler. Super duper kid. Having a great time riding around with him and his dad, Rodrigo, and there was Mike. Just a bunch of wonderful people. So I think that when you've got a mix of people with different skills, styles, there's just things you've got to cover. But I like to make sure that everybody has fun, right? I don't like to lecture people, but I like to make sure everybody has fun, stay safe, and nobody leaves a ride feeling like it wasn't for them. So first off, you got to know who you're riding with. Like, before the ride even starts, man, you got to know who's with you. Not in a judgy way, right? Just because I care about you not crashing today kind of way. That's more the tone that you're looking for. It's like, how fast are you comfortable riding? You know, depending on the things that you're doing, you know, it might not even be about speed. It might be about like rock climbing or whatever it is that you're doing in your specific community. But make sure that people are comfortable, you know, doing what it is that you have in store. Can they hop stuff? Can they take stairs? Can they handle dirt trails? You know, how do you feel about riding alongside traffic? You know, does that make you nervous? Because people often don't want to admit things. They don't want to act like they're scared. So don't make it weird. Just be real. The goal is to respect their limits and not necessarily expose them as some sort of weak rider or something like that. That's not it at all. You know, you got to be mindful of who you're riding with. Riding with me is almost like taking a perpetual survey. Because the second thing that I recommend you do, that I do, is respect people's bodies. You got to ask them about brakes and, you know, what their limits are. You know, their feet get sore, knees get tired, and people act like they're fine until they're not, okay? And that can lead to just got to ask, right? So something like, how far can you ride before you need a break? 5 miles, 10 miles, 20 miles? And listen to the answers. You know, people get hurt when they ignore their own bodies, and you don't want to be the guy that pushed your group until somebody hit the ground. If you do it right, everybody gets to have fun, you know, feel like they did something good, and go back home to do it again later. Next thing I like to consider, it's number 3, rather. It's not just about what they can do, but what do they feel like doing? Something I had to learn, right? Just because somebody can handle stairs or dirt or off-road doesn't mean that that's what they feel like doing today. You know, maybe their head's just not in that space. Maybe they're just tired, you know? So you can ask questions like, what do y'all feel like riding today? Do you want to mix it up? Do you want to do trails, street, technical, whatever? If the ride matches the mood, then people will have a better time. So this also gives people to have an input on the ride, on the experience. They feel like they had some ownership of it. And that's pretty cool, man. You know, everybody gets to be in charge of the ride. It's not like you're the boss of people. Number 4, you want to set expectations for how to move as a group. It matters more than you realize. I mean, and you've seen it. The train effect. One guy at the front, then someone 20 meters back, and another guy 20 meters behind him, and it just stretches out. Dudettes, that's terrible for traffic, man. You're not a parade float. You're not a train. You gotta keep the group tight, right? Like the size of a big bus at most, or a big single car, right? When you're crossing intersections, treat the group like one vehicle. Move together. Don't spread out. People won't always understand it, but trust me, it's respectful, and it keeps us more welcome, all in all. When you don't have that massive footprint in traffic, you don't have people having to double guess what they're doing inside of their lawful car on the roads lawfully, when you're just trying to ride around on your electric unicycle. And that's what it looks like to them, that you're just out here effing off. And so doing it this way definitely keeps us more welcome, and I found that it just has kept the reception warm on the street. Number 5, you got to check in with people during the ride. People are not always going to speak up when they're struggling, especially in group rides. You know, they don't want to be singled out. They don't want to be the weak rider. They don't want to be the quote unquote that guy. So you've got to check in. Just ask every now and again. You know, when you get to a stoplight, when you get to a logical stop and everybody's kind of clustered and caught up, just say, hey, you good? You good, bro? Everything all right back there? Like, you know, just any of those things. I'm sure you've got your own way of asking how your people are doing. But seriously, even just making eye contact every now and again lets people know that they're not alone. So make sure that people don't feel alone and they feel engaged, and they don't feel like they have to single themselves out in order to be comfortable. So make it easy for people to enjoy and express where they're at. Number 6, guys, your gear. Seriously, man, wear it. It's simple, man. Wear your helmet, wear your pads. I know you don't want to hear it. Nobody likes putting that stuff on. But when you crash, and you will, you absolutely will, you're not just hurting yourself. Somebody else is going to have to be the one picking you up, and that's heavy. Waldo, he was out riding with us. He didn't have his helmet. He drove hours to ride with us. And I didn't notice till we were already moving, and he rode fine, but that doesn't make it ideal. You know, every time there was some potholes in the road, my stomach is twisting up. Every time we're riding fast, I'm getting nervous because I just don't want him to get hurt. You know, just, yeah. Anyway, you're out here orchestrating memories. So, number 7. Plan your ride like a story. You know, I like to think of my ride like a mixtape. You know, long open stretches, then some technical stuff, you know, maybe some city stairs, a scenic stop, some flowy sections. You know, keep it balanced. Keep the energy moving. Keep people engaged, but not drained. The ride should feel like a rhythm, not just miles ticking by. And I think we do best when the rides are orchestrated that way. As long as you take into consideration what everybody has that they are capable of doing, then it works out so well if you can have enough features, so to speak, lined up in your town to make it worth it. Watch out for kids. Okay, so number 8, you gotta watch out for kids. Not like, just hear me out. Young riders, dude, they're the future. And I don't say that like some old motivational speaker guy. I mean, literally, they're the ones who will inherit this planet, subsequently, this sport, okay? So when you've got a young rider like Tyler, who is in this video, when you've got a young rider like Tyler there, pay attention to them. Figure out their limits. Bring them to the front if they're struggling in the back. Talk to them, lift them up, make them feel like they're strong, make them feel like they belong. That rhymed. Every word you say to a kid in a group ride shapes how they see this sport. You can make or break them without even knowing it. Okay, so be positive. Don't be snooty. Let the kid get his vibes in. Let the kid have fun, you know? As long as they're not hurting anyone or themselves, well, generally speaking. Just let them have fun, you know? Look out, lift them up. Number 9. Sneak in skill challenges. You don't have to necessarily hit a skate park, right? I mean, you could. Skate parks are awesome. And honestly, they're a really great way to level up. I love skate parks. Jump parks, anything that is meant for rolling devices to do tricky tricks. Those are great places. But, it doesn't have to be that. It could be just a curb. It could be a small drop. It could be a balance beam on the sidewalk. But give people moments, little moments to challenge themselves. And growth doesn't always feel like some epic montage, like some Rambo movie. Sometimes it's just hopping that one little curb you've been avoiding. So give people chances to push their limits, to test themselves. If there's things that you're particularly good at, bring people into the spaces that made you good at that, whether it's a pump track, whether it's a stair garden, whether it's a rock garden, whether it's the balance things, whatever it is that you've gotten really good at because of the stuff that's in your community, bring people to that. Give people an opportunity to learn from that. Sneak in those skill challenges. Number 10 is one that I've had to get acquainted with. Film the ride, but don't make it about you, okay? Being the whole Johnny Go Vroom vlog thing, I have had to learn this the hard way over many, many, many rides. So learn from my earlier rides. It's a hard one. But don't let your group ride turn into your personal production crew. Capture organic memories. Yeah, there's going to be opportunities for it, so grab cool shots, but keep the flow natural. Don't make people stop over and over for your perfect shot. It is not about you. It's about the us experience, right? It's not about the you experience when you're in a group ride. It's about the us experience. So make your footage part of the ride, not a reason to slow it down. I don't know if that makes sense, but you can organically coordinate little segments of the ride to allow for maximal footage, really great shots, but making it about the people that are there and giving them a chance to really grow, explore, and have fun. And I think it can be done, So number 10, film the ride, but don't make it about you. These are just my suggestions that I've learned. These are the suggestions for me, myself. This is what I use. If you find anything useful in any of these 15, brain farts that I have about group rides, I'm so happy that is the case. But this is by all means not canon. This is not law, nothing like that. It's just hopefully a little bit of a helpful guide. You can get some, thoughts, some nuggets from the things that I've experienced. Number 11, food, drinks and other choices. Right, you've got to plan ahead, okay? Are we stopping to eat? Depending on how long the ride is, food may need to be involved. Are people packing snacks? So depending on how long it is, you are going to want to build in opportunities for people to refuel. Not everybody wants to go on a 3-day fast while they're riding an electric unicycle. Some people do. And as a side note, I don't ride with people who drink alcohol on the ride. Just typically that's not my thing, right? It's dangerous. And if you're somewhere where people are lighting up, I love cannabis, okay? I am all about it, right? But when we are in these group rides, and that's really where I want to keep the context inside of the group ride presentation, okay? You represent EUC, whether you like it or not. Most people have never seen us in the wild. So if they see a pack of us in the wild, drinking, being raucous, loud, and obnoxious, that is their forever frame of reference as an introduction. If they see us smoking with reckless abandon, the same way, So if you do, what I like to do is I am discreet. I take people to very far out places that I've gone where I know foot traffic is zero pretty much, and that's where I partake in the cannabis things. Again, I don't drink. I try not to let alcohol impact the rides that I'm on because it makes things volatile, but sometimes people do enjoy, and oftentimes I don't even realize that they are. If they're doing it right, I don't realize that they are. So you got to worry about food, drinks, and choices. That's number 11. Okay, I have seen this done good, and I've seen this done bad, and then I do it the best way that I can, okay? But number 12, you've got to set boundaries like a human, okay? You don't have to be a control freak about the way the rides happen. Just be clear early on, explain why things matter, talk to people like you'd talk to a friend. The golden rule, treat them how you want to be treated. And if they don't respect it, maybe they're not your riding people. You can accept that. You don't have to go riding with every EUC enthusiast that you meet in your life. I have continued to ride with far less EUC riders than I ride with. I haven't continued to ride with far less than I do. or whatever. I just don't ride with a lot of EUC riders. Like, I would rather ride by myself than let the desperation of company have me ride with people that will turn this thing that I love into a volatile experience that is no longer about the lighthearted enjoyment of this novel new thing, but then makes it about other weird stuff. So, set boundaries and expectations about the group ride, but don't be a, 13. This is something that I haven't had to do, but I think it's really important to do. If you're having a large ride, you need to look at getting that ride legal, get paperwork for that. If your ride's got 20 to 30 people or more, consider getting a permit or breaking the ride up into several smaller groups that can meet at different times. I know it sounds corporate, like, but once your group is taking up real road space, you're not invisible anymore. Getting a permit protects you, it protects the ride, and it keeps the city from seeing us as illegal, problematic things on the road. So I think that it's really important to consider, if you have a large ride, break it down into smaller things, or consider getting a permit to make it legal. And if you have to get a permit for it, then consider not doing it quite as often as maybe you did in the past, because if that is what you're doing and you're taking up that much city space, it's probably not going to be a good, even if you can get the permits, you're going to get a lot of pushback from the citizens in the city. So just consider other people inside of your fun, and I think that you'll have a much better time at it. This is something that happens far too often whenever you have people riding electric unicycles or PEVs. Number 14, don't turn it into a race, okay? This happens far, far, far too often. The last thing we need is a whole nother GoFundMe, for people on electric unicycles injuring themselves. This is not a good look, guys. Like, I say that with love in my heart. Like, it's fun to push each other inside of safe contexts and being respectful and stuff like that. But we don't need the bandits in group rides, like the people who want to be hooligans. Like, if there's any hooligan behavior, it should be well within the legal limits of the places that you're inside of, and with utmost respect for the communities that you are enjoying. So different riders, and the other thing is, guys, different riders have different wheels, okay? Different batteries, and ego doesn't care about that, right? Like, if you are out here and you are ripping around on a brand new ET Max, and there's somebody with an RS, or somebody with a Master Gen 3 or something like that, you got people out there with these sorts of wheels riding together, then you really have a danger gradient, because the people on the Master 3, if they are trying to keep up with the ET Max, they are going to cut out. It's just physically impossible for that wheel to match in parity. So just be safe, guys. Someone always wants to go faster. Somebody always wants to prove something, and that's how you push too hard. That's how people get hurt. Please, guys, just don't do it. It's not worth it. So number 14, don't turn it into a race. Number 15, remember why you're here. Okay? I mean, at the end of the day, it's about connection. It's about exploration. It's about living your fullest life. You're out here riding electric unicycles with a bunch of other weirdos who get it. You're part of something. Okay? So open up your heart. Be curious. Treat every single ride like an adventure. If you're out here to try to go around, grabbing pink slips because you're trying to race this person, and you're out here hunting for the best rider so you can be better than them, or you're out here because you want to try to pick up girls, and God knows why you would want to try to do that on an electric unicycle, but so be it. That's what you want to do. Wrong reasons, guys. Like, at least to me, okay? This is a subjective thing. I am nobody's moral freaking bypass on anything. Everybody has to live their own lives. So if you feel like that's what riding an electric unicycle is about, then maybe that's what it's about for you. I just think that it'll be more fulfilling for people who don't make it about that stuff. So remember, you know, at least me, I like to make it about the people that I'm with. I like to make sure that everybody's having a great time. I really like to make sure that if they are riding with the Johnny Go Vroom and that excites them, that I Johnny Go Vroom as much positivity as I can at them, because I know what it's like to have met people that I've looked up to or that I've admired or that I've just thought were cool on different media. And when I met them, it sucked. And I really don't want to give that to people. So anyway, just have fun. Be there with the people. So yeah, that's just how I think about group rides. It's not really rules, okay? I mean, these are my things. It's just what I've learned. And, you know, I've messed up a lot. I'm almost 42 now, and I have messed up so much, and I continue to mess up so much, and that's just part of life, I guess. They say it when you're young, and you keep on experiencing it as you grow. Anyway, I really want to thank everybody who's ever ridden with me. You guys make it worth it, you know? I mean, even the ones who I don't ride with anymore. I learned something, and to me, that's worth it, you know? Stay safe, stay curious, and as always, it's been your boy, Johnny Go Vroom. If you are wondering what I'm riding, again, it's just the Master version 4. But, you know, I have wheels from Inmotion. You can get those direct from them. If you want something that is weird and niche, just coming out, NextGen Mobility has you covered. If you happen to live in Florida, next to Clearwater particularly, there is this amazing group of guys, Rob Lee and Mike Buell. They own the PEV Connection, and that place has all of the coolest parts and upgrades and wheels that you can buy on hand, in store, brick and mortar. Super duper cool. Anyway, guys, I genuinely appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you have done for the channel, being here, commenting, you know, bringing your positivity. We've done such a great job as a community, guys. I mean, like, we literally have lots of constructive feedback, even if it doesn't completely, like, you know, if it doesn't completely agree with me, which is perfect. That's fine. We get so much constructive feedback. It's very seldom vitriol. I think I maybe have ever had to delete one comment that was just some like death type stuff, like wishing death type stuff. So, I mean, generally speaking, we have a really sweet community, and that's you. That's literally each and every one of you. And I cannot be more grateful. If you actually made it to this point in the video, please remember to click the like button. Something like 80% of my return viewers are actually not subscribed. So if you would do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, I am so grateful. Thank you guys so very much. You know. Oh, and I've got a song coming soon. So there's that. Yeah, hippity hop. So I might put a snip of that song right here.
Rolling, tic-tac-toe, better rip that flow. Life on the go when I roll down the road. Ain't no fish in the bowl. Every single motion is expressing my soul. Body lean when I go.
Guys, it's been your boy Johnny Go Vroom, and this has been a really awesome group ride with the guys. Say bye to everybody.
Later, everyone. Peace.